Minister, I welcome the opportunity to speak on the Consumer Protection Gift Voucher Bill 2018. And as Chair of the Oireachtas Committee for Business, Enterprise and Innovation, myself and my many colleagues on the committee, including Deputy Quinlivan, we have spent quite a bit of time focusing on the whole issue around gift vouchers. We carried out pre-legislative scrutiny on a bill that was brought forward by a colleague of mine, and there was Deputy Collins, and there was an awful lot of similarities between both bills. I think at the end of the day, regardless of where the bill comes from, it is high time now that we do have legislation to protect the consumer. I think that's the most important thing going forward. For someone who has a retail background and has worked on both sides of the counter for all her working life, I have a lot of experience in relation to gift vouchers and the way that they can be exploited in different businesses and in different shops. In the main, people are very, very fair, and when they sell a gift voucher, they normally would put a couple of years expiry date on it. And if you buy a gift voucher for €100, you know that that's the same as having cash in your pocket and you have the opportunity to spend it. Unfortunately, some businesses, for example, are a lot more, I suppose, rigorous with their rules and conditions. And if your gift voucher expires after a year, it's as good as losing the €100 out of your pocket. You don't get the opportunity to spend it. So I do welcome the fact that the gift vouchers will have a 5-year time limit on it. I think that's very important, because sometimes people might receive a substantial gift voucher, and we know at Christmas a lot of people get gift vouchers as a kind of a tax-free bonus from work, and they might maybe spend a couple of hundred out of the voucher, and it might go in the back of the wallet, or it might be put away and they forget. And I think it's very important that people have the opportunity that their voucher is there for them, and they know that it won't be reducing down in cost. I think we have to put the consumer front and foremost here, because at the end of the day, money is hard earned, and it's very, very important that people know that when they do buy a voucher that they are protected. I think it's very, very important that the terms and conditions are printed clearly, and they know exactly what these terms and conditions are. The period of time that vouchers remain valid can vary, and I think it's very, very important that we have a standardisation across the whole board in relation to this. The bill provides for new regulations in regulating the sale of gift vouchers and the contracts for their supply by amending the Consumer Protection Act 2017. The bill also establishes a definition for gift vouchers, which is welcome. I suppose the unregulated sector of gift vouchers account for 65% of the market, and these are mainly single-brand store cards and shopping centre cards. There is absolutely no protection of funds loaded on cards, and retailers use the fund as normal working capital, and thus if a retailer collapses, the funds are lost to consumers. Now that's something we have seen for many years. That when a business collapses, and many people might have gift vouchers for €50, €100, whatever, and they lose it. So I just think that's something that certainly needs to be looked at. The regulated sector accounts for 35% of the gift voucher market, and these would be more electronic ones. But something that has come to my attention is, there's some gift vouchers, for example, and after a year passes, the amount reduces by a small percentage every month. Now that's, if you have a gift voucher for a couple of €100, you won't notice it. But if you have a gift voucher for €20, a grandparent might have given a grandchild or something, a one-for-all voucher, after the 12-month expires, it reduces down by a small percentage the whole way down. And that is a concern too, because I'm a firm believer that if you hand over €20 for a voucher, your voucher should be worth €20. It's the same thing as having cash in your pocket. But unfortunately, that's not the way it always works out. Minister, just to conclude, I do welcome the legislation. As I said, we did a lot of work in the committee on this. And it is very timely that we do have legislation. I suppose if I just have one quibble, it's the committee spent a lot of time doing pre-leg scrutiny on a particular bill, and then the government came forward with their own bill. And I suppose you can pre-leg scrutiny on a bill, I suppose, no matter how you look at it, it's worthwhile and it's timely, and it probably refers to most bills, similar bills that come forward. But I do believe it was misfortunate that quite a good bill that was accepted by the whole committee couldn't receive a money message, and then the government came forward with their own bill. At the same time, I will say again, I think we have to put the consumer first, and it is high time that we have legislation, and I hope everyone supports this bill and we can move it quickly through the Oireachtas.